Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Get the old career mode fired off. It is dawn at the Kerbal Space Center, and when we last left off, we managed to bring in a bunch of science and some funds and a fair amount of reputation. So we have some quick spending to do here. This one really gives us some cool stuff, like we get the tricoupler and things like that and make some much more powerful rockets with that. However, we're already banging into that parts limitation of 30 parts per rocket, so researching this isn't going to do me any good whatsoever. I'm actually going to research this node and buy both of these. Well, I'm going to actually only buy the FLT-800 fuel tank, so I'll research that. Buy this fuel tank, leaving me with 20.1 science. Now, this fuel tank will cut the number of parts that I use on my rockets down because it's twice the size of the largest fuel tank I currently have available. So, let's head back. And, let's see here. Let's take a look at some upgrades. 50,000 funds for that one. It doesn't help me a whole lot for some more active strategies. Ooh, now this is tempting. See, this still leaves me with 100,000 funds, and right now all the operations I'm doing are costing way less than that. Okay, 12 active Kerbals, not that that makes a big difference. Kerbals can perform EVAs, and Kerbals on EVA can place flags. I've done it. I've upgraded it. We have 95,000 funds left available. Let's see what contracts we can go find now. Okay, we have the usual visual surveys, which are actually decently paying contracts. Test Decepticon 1 while landed. There's some easy peasy science. Test a radial decoupler while orbiting. The TT-70 radial decoupler while orbiting. That's a huge chunk of funds. And I know I can get into orbit. We know we can make an 85,000 meter orbit, no problem. 20 science for that. Plus we'll be taking our Science Junior along with us to do some stuff along the way. Yeah, I think that this contract is the way to go. Test a basic jet engine. Wow, that'd be a lot of science too, but only problem is I don't think I have any access to any air intakes, so it wouldn't really do me much good. I'm going to test the Decepticon 1 while I landed. That's a nice, easy one. Splash down, booster, yeah, we'll do that one. So, let's read our briefings. We want you to test the TT-70 radial decoupler orbiting Kerbin. And we got a cash advance a little bit, and we're looking at 20 science upon completion. This type of orbit, and this is a landed one, so that's easy. Just grab a little bit of science and a little bit of cash. Let's take a look at our rocket. Estes 6 was a successful rescue program. We're going to make some modifications because we no longer need to have... this is Estes 7 now. The Estes 7 model rocket. We no longer need to have that probe body on there. I'm bringing batteries just because they are handy. Radial decoupler. We need to test the TT-70 radial decoupler, which is this guy, while in orbit. Okay, no problem. We put 2 of them on there, and we do the old thing that we did before, which is to attach 2 landing gear. Now you notice we're over a part count of 31 parts, but I actually know that I can make this a lot better by ditching all of this and going for these. Just 2 of them. Propulsion, please. Thank you. Or propulsion engines. This one. And the same arrangement as before. Where we copy this over like so. Aerodynamic. Putting on aerodynamic nose cones, and we still have 1 part left. That's okay. And we're taking our Science Junior. Our crew members should be able to do an EVA. Speaking of crew members, we're going to need one. Jeb, you have plenty of experience. Tanvan, we'll take our scientist with us. We'll have Bob do this flight. Yeah. Now, are there any other parts that we could do? What's this thing do? No. Nope. Not particularly useful. So we need to get it into orbit, dump off our landing gear, and that's really it with those decouplers. Save that and probably get this underway. Well, no, not yet. Staging first. Okay, if those engines fire first, and then they're going to decouple first. These engines go there. This engine comes down here. Main engine fires. Then this stage is much later. Thank you. That happens. This happens. Oh, wait. No. This happens in orbit. And then this happens. Nope, I got it right the first time. We decouple that to get to our maneuvering stage only, our little orbiter stage. And then that happens. And then we're all recovery all the time. I don't have the part count to bring any more goo canisters. Okay. All right. Let's launch number 7 into Kerbal orbit. Estes 7 is on the pad. We don't have a pilot, so we can't use SAS. Our target orbit is at least 85,000 meters. Should not be a problem for this lander. We can cycle the gear. Not that it matters much. And up we go. Rockets climbing up with great aplomb, as they might say. Boom. Okay, we're high enough out of the atmosphere where it doesn't matter so much being on the prograde marker with respect to the surface. Prograde marker with respect to orbit is much more useful. So, we have our debris. So we're headed up to 85,000 meters. And actually rapidly ascending to that point. 3, 4, 5, engine cutoff. Plenty of juice left when we get to the apoapsis. Once again, we'll turn horizontal. So in case you're joining the series in the middle, and you're thinking, what is this game and how do I get into orbit? It's really hard. Well, it is really hard to get into orbit if you're not sure exactly what you're doing, but it's not hard to learn. Essentially, Isaac Newton discovered that if you build a tall enough mountain such that the mountain pokes out of the atmosphere, and then you stick a cannon on top of that mountain and shoot it with enough force in the cannon discharge, the cannonball will circumvent the entire planet and come crashing into the back. So that's kind of what launching a rocket is about. You launch upwards and tilt over a little bit from vertical, so that you build kind of a really tall mountain as you build up velocity and go up faster and faster. And then you build this mountain like I have here. You can see this mountain right there on the screen. And when you get to the top of the mountain, you aim your rocket sideways and fire off the rocket and go flying this way. Or to me, the screen is that way. But anyway, you go flying horizontally with respect to the thing. And you build up enough horizontal velocity that you continue to fall around Kerbal without actually falling back into the atmosphere. So I built myself an 85,000 meter tall mountain. And once I'm pretty much at the top, which I'm almost there, I'm going to turn on the engines again. I think now is good. And start adding lateral velocity, which you can see is making the mountain sort of wider and wider. This is how my orbit, since it follows this one, I keep on adding velocity going directly this way in a straight line. And as I do that, I will eventually reach an orbit. So how's this stage looking? This stage is about to run out of juice. But that is no problem. We planned for that. Okay, the stage has run out of juice. Doesn't have any more power in it. We are going to kick it off. Save. Double check my stage. Yep. Now we're much lighter and more nimble, and we can do this and finish off our orbit. I have to sort of manually fly myself around here. $83 to $88. Okay, let's check our contracts. Oh, I never did put on a Sepatron. How stupid of me. No problem, I'll just do that on the ground later. Note. What do we got here? Expand. So, all we need to do is get ourselves to the right altitude range and we can fire off this other decoupler to test that part. But, the cool stuff that we can do now, we can go ahead and observe the materials bay again. And it's not going to be really worth it, so I'm going to go ahead and reset that experiment. And we'll do it in the upper atmosphere before re-entry. Okay. I just realized we're going to be able to grab tons and tons of science on this one mission. Try to get my craft as stable as possible. Okay, now here's the deal. Since we can do EVAs in space, we'll be able to do surveys over all sorts of different kinds of terrain now. For instance, here's an EVA over the Kerbal shores. We'll keep that data. Fly in. Grab a hold and board the spacecraft. Just trying to get it moving as little as possible. Now we're over the water. So crew report doesn't do anything good? No. Now we're over the water. So EVA one more time while over the water. 8 more science for being above the water. And we'll just fast forward time over some interesting looking piece of land or whatever. Like, say, this one. So we're over this bit of land. We'll EVA out. Activate the old rocket pack. And this is an EVA over the grasslands. So I'm just easing myself forward to get back into the capsule. Alright, double checking my staging. Yep, that just gets rid of those to test it. Ready? And kaboom! Contract completed, 38,000 funds awarded, plus 20 science. We might be over the mountains or something. That looks interesting. EVA report from space just above the highlands. Alright. Okay, it's before dawn, but we're over the deserts now, so I'm going to see if I'm going to get an EVA here. EVA report from space just above Kerbal's deserts. Okay, I'm on the dawn side once again, right by this desert. We are going to point ourselves retrograde and get ourselves set for re-entry. And I just want to bring this periapsis down to about 10,000 meters or so. Actually, I'll have it touch the ground like that. Alright, that should get us about 30,000 meters about there, or in the area. Hopefully we'll be able to land just fine. We have plenty of juice in this engine, so I can keep it with me. And land on it. And that would actually save us some money. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to reset my staging. for a softer landing. If I need to decouple it at the last minute, I can. Otherwise, I'm going to save it. And yeah, we'll fast forward to atmospheric reentry. Or actually, no, I'm going to fast forward to the upper atmosphere. And when I get there, we'll do a Science Junior experiment. Okay, we're in the upper atmosphere, and I want to confirm that with a crew report, actually. Yeah, a crew report from Kerbal's upper atmosphere. I haven't apparently gotten one of these yet. Now, here's something interesting that I could do. I'm quick saving in case I need to revert. Grab. Oh, jeez. Here, get an EVA. We know we're in the upper atmosphere, and this is actually a terrible place to be doing EVA because friction is going to win sooner or later. So we're going to get right back inside. Observe the materials bay. 22.5 science. The rarefied air has caused interesting changes to gel samples. It seems like something is happening with the interior structure. Awesome. All right, I'm going to fast forward and catch you guys during atmospheric re-entry. Actually, I know that I'm not going to have any problem with re-entry. I'll just fast forward to pretty much chute deployment. So hang tight. See you in a bit. There's a problem. My chutes haven't fired off. So, I'm going to try and re-enable the stage. There we go. Yeah, my chutes hadn't actually deployed. So I had to modify the stage manually and get them to go. So anyway, we'll catch you guys on chute deployment. And the chutes have deployed. We are coasting down nice and level here. Alright, we're 150 meters away from splashdown here. Coming down at 5.6 meters per second, which is just a little bit fast for my taste based on the weight that I'm carrying. So I'm going to kick up the engines and slow that down a little bit. I want to get it under 5 meters per second, really. So I have a nice graceful splash down into the water, hopefully keeping all the stuff that I have attached to the rocket right now, which will save us a little bit of funds in the long run. There we go. A nice easy touchdown. Or easy splashdown. Everything's all set. Let's recover and see how we actually did. Okay, so from our experiments that we did during the mission, we picked up 74.5 science. The mission awards, which we showed earlier, gave us some additional science as well, plus the science that we had to begin with. So things are looking pretty good on that front. We managed to recover over 4,000 funds worth of parts. Completed some missions, giving us a total of 132,000 funds now. Bob has advanced to level 1 scientist. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but it's pretty cool to have it done anyway. And that is where we're going to that's where we're going to leave episode 9. I will say until next time, keep flying and stay shiny. Goodbye. Hey, I forgot about another quick addendum. I still had this little contract to finish, this testing of a Sepatron 1, so I strapped 4 of them to the Mark 1 cockpit, which I've named this flight Model 2, and I'm just going to sort of test this as a potential disengagement and safety measure in case I need to hit the old abort button. So, without further ado, we'll fire up the stage. As you can see, that is plenty of thrust to get us up and away. It's like 4 G's or so. So we'll fire the parachutes. Oh geez. Oh goodness. Revert to launch. Alright, try that again. This time I'm going to wait till we're actually coming down to fire the parachutes. So yes, contract completed. A little bit extra science, which we'll spend in the next episode. All right, falling down now. And there we have it. So we managed to get the contract completed. No XP gain, and all that good stuff. Let's hit the tracking station, clean up our mess. Terminate. 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 Boom. All right, our skies are clear. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.